We are at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona with Salim Virani from Leancamp. So Salim, what do you think is the most important, most relevant outcome of this edition of the Mobile World Congress?
I think, so certainly with the conversation of the next billion people going online through mobiles, that's huge. Firefox OS is a good example of that. They're driving into these new markets with the new approach to hardware.
And what do you think would be the biggest impact of this extra billion people, using mobile with affordable phones with new services? How do you imagine the world changing in the next 3 to 5 years?
I traveled through Southeast Asia recently, and to see, and I traveled there maybe 5 years ago, and one of the big differences I saw was that you'd see people with tablets, possibly homeless people, but their kids had like $100 tablet, and you combine that with all like the Khan Academy style of education that's coming. Education in the developing world has been a really tough thing to crack, and this feels like it's the right combination now that we can open the doors there.
And how do you see the lean methodology could help in designing some of these new mobile experiences, where there's no success formula assured, so companies have to try new and different approaches?
Well, so we've seen the idea of lightweight prototyping and iteration help startups on the web, right? And one of the things that founders get stuck on, is actually getting it into customers' hands, and in particular getting into customers' hands through marketing channels, right? So marketplaces, app stores open that up, but at the same time they slow down the iteration process. So I think there are innovations there that can help, right? So the lean approach, not just about the product, not just about the app itself, but about the entire experience, and certainly about the way people decide what apps to use and how they get those apps. There's innovation there that the lean approach can help, and business model innovation itself can help. So again, Firefox, I think leading the way there. Their new model for the app store is you don't search for an app, you search for the content you need within the app, and then the apps deploy, because they're HTML5, you don't need to download the whole thing, you just start using it. And it seems a very techie thing, except for it really changes the way people can engage with getting new stuff onto their phones. It's a complete behavior change from the consumer side. And again, we're just used to what we're used to. And it's looking at, these next billion people, they don't have any preconceptions about what mobiles or internet is for. And the regular suspects, your Facebook, Twitter, like, we expect those on any platform, but they don't. They'll have totally different expectations. And it's that lean, that customer-centric approach, the business model innovation approach that undoes a lot of the stuff that we inherit from previous ways of doing things, that I think will be helpful there, particularly helpful in this space.
And if you think about your own life, be it personally or professionally, how has mobile changed the way you live?
Yeah, so inspired off this Asian trip, actually I bought, so in Asia, this phone is everywhere, right? The Samsung Note 2. This is my new computer. I stopped using my MacBook Air, and I've started using this as my main computer. I run Linux on it now. I have a little keyboard and mouse for it. I don't need to take my bag with me when I go out to coffee shops to work. I just put my keyboard and my phone in my pocket, and that's everything I need. And that's huge. To me, that's personally like a huge change in the way I do things. The next step for me, and actually what I'm trying to do at Mobile World Congress over the next few days, is get to the point where when I go to a conference to give a talk, I don't need my laptop. I can present from this. So putting the pieces together, I hope I can get it done today.
Thank you very much, Salim.
All right. Thanks, Gianfranco.